Wake up, guys, it's Christmas, and I've hidden all the eggs. We're talking ALF. Oh, Tannerbaum, hit it. It was 1986. Jobs and Lasseter founded Pixar. Prince released the Parade album, and a chopped up Christmas tree caused a whole load of problems for the Tanners. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me are two Totally Rad Christmas All-Stars and Ratty winners. My first guest you'll know from Horror Movie BBQ. It's Ratty winner Chad Young. Chad, what's happening?
Three-time winner
Nice.
with Mike Westfall. 3 times. But you know what, Vinnie? I think this is going to be our night.
I think so. I think you're definitely in contention. Yeah, it's very possible. But speaking of, my next guest, you've heard on this show before, but also you might know him from Huey and Bax. It's Vinnie Brzezinski. Vinnie, what's happening?
Hey guys, yeah, I mean, I don't think I won any this year, so we need to kick this up a notch a little bit.
That's right.
I was a 2-time winner the time before, but I got skunked this time, so we have to step it up.
We'll make it happen. I might know someone on the committee, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How are y'all doing, man? It's been a while since I've talked to either of you, actually.
Doing good.
Good. Trying to survive this heat down here. It's already hot here in Texas.
It's already hot. Yeah.
Yep.
It's stupid. It's so dumb. The other thing is like these winds are crazy. Just like all my allergies are going bananas just because the wind won't stop blowing gunk around. It's gross.
My dogs want to go outside, but the wind's blowing so hard. They're hound dogs, and their ears are flapping in their face. Like, just take me back, man. I'm like, all right.
I understand. And Chad, you just went to Chiller Theater.
Yes, my favorite horror convention on the planet, Chiller Theater, which is a 3-day extravaganza of horror, nostalgia, fun. I met Deborah Van Valkenburg from the Warriors, someone who I've had a crush on for the longest time.
I mean, yeah.
Still, what was the show she was on? 8 is Enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's it.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's not
Just
right.
the 10 of us?
No. Too close for comfort.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I know her from the Warriors. So, and she also played a Playboy bunny in a Lifetime movie or something when I was a kid, and that kind of helped too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was a great time. I always have a great time at Chiller, and looking forward to going in October.
Nice.
For
you got
Halloween edition.
Got some cool stuff, didn't you? Well.
Yeah, I got a few like little trinkets here and there. I found a Chris Star gumball, a California raisin, got a print, some movie. Yeah, so I did pretty well.
Right on, man. That's good. And I always want to go to those. I just never really can schedule wise. Like, it's always hard to schedule them. By the time I realize that they're here, I've like missed like the VIP stuff. They're all usually sold. So it's like, well, yeah. All right, I'll hit it up next time. But
we need to get you out to RetroCon because we need to introduce you to like the entire crew, the one, like William Bruce West and Adam and the rediscover the 80s crew. Essentially, we need to get Sean. I think goes, or he's trying to make it this year too. So
where is it located? Where is that one located at?
Oaks.
Okay.
Oaks, PA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best. I'll see if I can. Maybe I'll just take a few days off and head out that way.
Yes.
Now, before because we're here to talk about ALF. Before we talk about ALF, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray in Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to hit me with the first thing that you think of. Okay, you don't have to think too hard about it. So here we go. Would you rather spend Christmas with ALF or with Gizmo?
ALF. I just don't like cats. Alf could take care of the cats for me.
Alf. I feel like it would be easier to clean up.
So if we hung out with Gizmo, does Phoebe Cates come with it?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to change my answer.
That's true. For real. All right. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's something we can all
I agree.
agree
Yes.
on.
Yeah. Fast times got me. Okay. What would you call here? That's a good answer. What would you title a Christmas movie starring Alf and Howard the Duck?
Ew.
I
think that's the best name.
That's my title name.
What, Gordon and the Avenger, right? Because wasn't Howard the Duck in the Avengers movies? He was an Avenger.
He did come out there. Okay, and finally, let's say Alf is fighting Snarf. Who wins?
Alf.
But when Snarf goes down, can he at least go snarf, snarf, snarf?
Yes, but I mean, Snarf doesn't really have a fighting ability.
No, he really doesn't.
So if it's a one-on-one, it's going to be Alf because he's going to be a lot smarter, and Snarf is just going to kind of sit there and whine.
I could see that too. I think I'm Team Alf also on that one. I think Alf would be more ruthless than Snarf in general.
You did this one on purpose. You just wanted to know that Snarf was going to get his ass.
Snarf's just going to lose. Yeah, that's all. Well, that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you guys a little bit better. So thank you for that. Now, tonight we're here to talk Alf, specifically O Tannerbaum. That's from season 1, episode 12. What do you guys remember about this one? Like, what's your history or experience with Alf in general and this episode in particular? Why don't we start with you, Chad?
Alf was a big deal in my house. I was 3 or 4 when it came on. So for me, like, obviously the appeal of Alf was Alf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always tell people the very first lunchbox that was mine, not a hand-me-down from my older brother, was the red Alf lunchbox, where he's kind of like playing with like food, and there's like a blue background, and it's got like stars and stuff. So, and in fact, I wish I had it in front of me, but I still have my Burger King Alf puppet. Technically, it was my older brother's, but I inherited it, and I've kept it for a long time. But I loved Alf as a show. I loved the animated series, both Alf Tales and just animated Alf. And I always look forward to kind of seeing him on my screen in some way, shape, or form. So, but as far as this episode goes, I don't really remember watching this episode back then.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was kind of newish, but it still kind of felt familiar and nostalgic. So,
right. Yeah, I hear that. What about you, Vinny?
First off, I'm a little embarrassed that I haven't learned to read yet. I just thought it was O Tannenbaum, not O Tannerbaum. Now it makes more sense. I feel like an idiot there for a little bit, but I need to redeem myself on this one because, Chad, you might not have heard it, but Jerry and I did this season 2 one a couple years ago, and it was so depressing.
Yeah, I did.
It was so depressing. I was just like, I think I was like my first one, and I was like the harbinger of death coming on there and talking about this. But I remember Alf growing up. I was telling Jerry before the show that I actually remember this initial one. This is the one I always remember. I was young. I was 7, but it was when I started to get the TV. But then I was like everyone, Alf was just something different at the time, right? Mm-hmm. We had you had your sitcoms, but you never saw. I mean, you had like Fraggle Rock and other stuff like that, but Alf was something different. It's like an alien, and he had a rock band. I mean, come on, like it was.
That's right.
And again, I don't want to bring up the cat thing, but he didn't like cats, so it was okay in my book.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
My dogs just don't like cats. I'm sorry.
I get it.
My dogs are the 2 most lovable things in the world. And if a cat doesn't like them, I don't like cats.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm actually right there kind of with y'all. Alf was like huge in our house. We loved Alf. I think my brother had the stuffed Alf that was released. I know we had some of the hard figures that for a little bit there, but it's like I just always remember, and it was huge because he would come out in everything, right? So like 1989,
Trading cards.
He was in the parade. Just all sorts of stuff. You're like, is that Alf? Hollywood Squares. Alf would show up, and you're like, what's going on? But he was like just this funny, furry kind of thing, and he was amazing. Now, I don't remember this Christmas episode. I do remember the other one that we don't really speak of because it's so depressing, right?
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this one was like a breath of fresh air for me because I hadn't seen it in a while. I'd only seen really the Christmas one, the Al Special Christmas. Like every few years I put that one on and feel bad about myself and then feel better about my life, but I hadn't seen this one. So this was great to just laugh and enjoy Christmas with Alf. But yeah, so this aired December 22nd, 1986. Paul Fusco, and I've kind of gone, Vinny, when you and I talked about the first one, we went into the history, so I won't go too deep into it, but, Paul Fusco kind of did this thing, and that guy, he's something else, and...
He needs to be institutionalized.
I mean, pretty much, right?
He needs to be checked on a daily basis. There's no way that man is normal.
No. I mean, his name is Gordon Shumway, right? I mean, you don't... From the Planet Melmac, you're not normal if you come up with someone named Gordon Shumway. But yeah, it was so great. Like I mentioned, season 1. So we're still kind of getting used to the dynamics here. Usually takes like half a season to a full season to really grow into their characters. And you can tell this is still early on. I don't really recognize the actors in this from like anything else, right? So
no.
like this is where we know them from Alf. And I gotta say, I like all these characters. Willie, he's just kind of like that neurotic, almost Woody Allen-esque dad. He's just kind of very mild-mannered, and I mean, he's like Willie, no problem. I mean, it's great. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and there's a few things that I really want to talk about in the episode in particular, but I also just want to talk a little bit about the plot. So why don't we dive into the plot, and as we get to those, I'll kind of bring these out. And so it really starts off with Kate and Willie in bed, and they're looking through old Christmas cards, which I gotta say I've never done.
No,
not a thing I've ever done. But they kind of have like a little, I don't know, sex joke a little bit. They're talking about how they got their first card was from the gas company, but their gas was turned off. And so to stay warm, they stayed in bed. And Kate's like, well, there were other reasons we didn't want to get out of bed. I'm like, whoa.
We relaxed. We stayed in bed late.
It was too cold to get up. Our friends at the gas company turned off the heat.
But as I recall, we weren't in any big hurry to get up anyway.
Merry Christmas!
He knows when we're awake.
I don't remember that from the original. Like you go, Willie, man. All right. Good for you.
Well, I mean, he's got 2 kids. Something's working.
That's true. That's true. 2 kids that we know of. Yeah.
When this starts off, I was telling Jerry that as an adult, you see things a little differently when you're watching now than a kid. The first thing that caught my eye was, when have you ever seen a light switch in the middle of a bedroom? Like if you look at their bed, there's a light switch right above his bed.
That's a good point.
I mean, it would be awesome, but like I've never seen one.
No, they're usually by the entrance, right? By the door where you can just yeah.
And the other thing was how small their bed was. Now look, it's a single bed. It's not like we're watching A Christmas Story where the parents were sleeping in 2 different beds. But I was just like, how are they sleeping in that? That is a single bed. Like that is
it's a full size. It's not even queen.
Yeah. I was just like, how are they sleeping?
Neither one of them are on the larger side. I'm saying that not respectfully, but I mean, it's not like, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's all they needed.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they have 2 kids. Something's working. So I don't know.
Well, they're looking through it, and then all of a sudden, Alf bursts in, and he's wearing a stocking as a Santa hat.
Okay. Can I point out? I'm glad you brought up the stocking because this is one of the notes I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
This looks more like an Alf promotional, like something that they would have like sold at like Kmart.
Yeah.
I want that stocking because it's the Alf logo. I don't think it's just like, is his name just written on there, or because it looks like the logo?
I don't know.
Either way, I want it, and I want to wear it as a hat now.
That's gonna be the new trend, right? We're gonna bring that in. We're all just gonna wear stockings on our head.
That's kind of a smart idea, you know. Now that I think about it,
I mean, honestly, yeah. Hey guys, whoever owns Alf, like, hit us up, please. So Alf, he's wearing the stocking, and I love how Willie makes a joke, right? He says he knows when we're awake, and it's a little Santa joke. But Alf says that he's finished hiding all the Easter eggs because it's Christmas Eve, and they have to correct him that no, we hide those on Easter. And then he again makes another little joke.
Christmas is when we carve the pumpkin.
Like, oh, Alf. Yeah, haha.
Come on.
Exactly.
Huh?
But I love it. He's made breakfast for them because he's trying to get on Santa's nice list. And so he made, what was it, Sloppy Joes and fiberglass, I think is what he says.
Is when he said that, my mind went to like that. Isn't the fiberglass insulation?
It is, yeah.
So that, and like if you chew it, you die or something.
Probably.
You know, like, it's not good for you, obviously, but that's all I could think of was like Sloppy Joes and like this pink cotton candy looking shit.
For some reason, I was thinking like cars. You know, now they make cars out of fiberglass.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Pieces of cardboard.
Boats.
But
yeah.
yours makes way much more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what's for dinner. So she's gonna, Kate's like, I'll go make breakfast. And so she goes and screams. And that's where we find out that Alf has chopped their Christmas tree down into firewood. And that kind of kickstarts the plot from there. Okay, so their family in their living room, and Willie's like out going to get a tree. And this is where we get another little gag about the names of the reindeer, right? So Alf's trying to remember. He's like Dasher, Dancer, Comet, Cupid. And then he lists like the names of the Gospels.
Yeah.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
This was such like, and I feel like it was done in like a sitcom that had kids that could never get like the reindeer names. So they would always be like John, Paul, Ringo. Aren't those the reindeer? Like, I feel like that was a big cliche and trope.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s. Like, and like after you've seen it so many times, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, I bet this killed back in '86, but right now, same. Sure. I was just like, all right.
We've heard it.
Because then later on, he says Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and it's like,
yeah, it goes on way too long.
It does. It definitely goes on way too long.
Yup.
The one thing with it is it's a small thing, but if you watch it again, the daughter is undoing the lights, and at one point you could tell, like I know it's a prop, but she's frustrated, and the lights aren't done. Like, they're still in a big ball, and she's just like, the lights are done, and she just throws them up. So like, and Jerry, this is what, if you go look at it. This will probably drive you nuts because you work with lights all day. But she was just like, it's in a gigantic ball, and it's just like, she just like, lights are done.
I mean, that's what we did back then, right? Because they were just a big old mess. We're like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to Griswold this thing. It's like, it's just you hide it as best you can.
But here's a random question for you guys. How many people you know actually put up their trees on Christmas Eve?
That's what, yes. This drove me crazy because this was like a super traditional thing, but like old school traditional. Like nowadays.
They did it in the Christmas Story, right? There's other things, but like, I don't remember. I know people put them up later. I mean, look, they're not going to put them up as early as we are, but like, I just don't understand doing it like Christmas Eve and then taking it down the day after. It seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I've not ever known one person that's actually done it on Christmas Eve.
No, never.
No, same.
I would not associate with anybody who does that because I feel like they would be just too much. and they would be too psychopathic for me.
Yeah, you don't need that negativity in your life, right?
Which, no, and you know what? Now it's all coming back. Like I said, Paul Fusco is a crazy MFer. Maybe he does. Maybe he just puts the tree up, and then a few hours later, he just, takes it down.
That's it for me.
What is wrong with you?
Well, okay. Well, that brings me to another point. So Willie comes in with the fake tree. Do you guys do real trees or fake trees?
I do fake. I mean, when you have 11 of them,
well, that's a lot of trees.
11 real trees. But no, it's for years it's just I kill anything that I have to water. And if I know it's a tree and it's not as bad, but we've not kept anything alive in our house for more than like a week. So I figured I'd probably kill that too. So we just always have kept the trees.
Yeah.
The fake ones.
I feel that. What about you, Chad?
My family has had the same fake tree in our family for 50 years. My mom and dad bought it when they first got married. And now my mom gave it to my older brother who turns 50 this year. So they had it before they had him. So I've only known, the world of fake trees. In fact, I don't really think I know anybody off the top of my head, and I could very well be wrong. I don't really know anybody who has a real tree. Like that to me, that was always like in movies and all. Like everyone I've ever known has always had like fake tree you put in your basement or your attic. But yeah, no, I don't know.
But like most of the people that I know that have get real trees, they actually get their tree in December, where I start decorating. It takes me so long to decorate my house, so I start in mid-October.
Yeah.
So it takes me like a month to put up on all my stuff. So if I had a real tree, it's kind of like the episode of Bob's Burgers, where she put it up after Halloween and it was dead by Thanksgiving.
Lynn, it's not even Halloween yet. So here's another thing, because I have a rabbit. So there is no way in hell I'll be able. By the way, I apologize, Jerry, and you can take this part out. I know I'm dropping.
That's fine.
A little harsher language than you preferred, so I do apologize. But I have a rabbit, and the fact is, he would destroy a tree. It would be like a woodchuck, or a beaver, just chewing it.
Yeah.
So I can't have. I wouldn't be able to have one. I can have a small tree like that you put on like your dinner table, or like a pre-lit tree. But
yeah, and we've mostly done fake trees as well growing up. In fact, there's like pictures from when I was like 2 and 3 with our it's terrible. It's got to be only like a 4.5, 5 foot tree, and it looks terrible. But we had that one for years till we got a different one. There was one year where we got a real tree, and my little brother was so allergic that it was causing asthma in him.
Oh no.
And so after that, he was having like bad asthma attacks. So we were like, okay, well, we have to do fake trees now. Like we just have to. So now that's all I've ever done. And I feel like if I were to do a real one now, I'd probably be like Vinnie and just kill it. Like, I don't think I'd know how to like keep it alive,
No. I can see my dogs acting like Snots from Christmas Vacation, just drinking the tree water.
If he drinks the water out of there, the tree's going to dry up. Come on, out of there.
Snot!
Out.
You get out of there. No, get in the kitchen now.
So Alf wants to know if it's going to snow. And Kate says it doesn't snow in that part of the state. And he says, well, it does, because he saw it on the Mr. T's Christmas special, and that's taped in Burbank. And I was thinking, like, which Mr. T special could he be talking about? And all of a sudden, I just thought about that one with Emmanuel Lewis, but I think that was set in New York. So
by the way, is Alf, it takes place in California, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Okay.
So I don't know what special they're talking about with Mr. T, but
I pity the fool.
Anyway, so meanwhile, they're still finding eggs that Alf's hidden, and Willie comes back with this box because he didn't want to spend $100 on the very last Christmas tree that this man named Fahid was like auctioning off. So instead, he spent $125 on this fake tree, and to Alf, like, the math isn't mathing, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, it's more, but it's less. And he goes into the whole, 25-year guarantee, which is ridiculous. There's no, I mean, that's maybe back then, maybe they made trees different.
Yeah.
But like when they're setting it up, the very first thing they have to do is they're supposed to paint the pole. Like I've never seen that before. That's a whole other level of DIY that I'm not used to.
Well, he bought a Japanese tree, and apparently Alf knows how to read Japanese. So
That's right. That's right. He was reading the instructions. Yeah. Oh man. But like it's the worst thing. It looks like a coat rack because they haven't put in all the branches. And it's one of those old school ones where it just has like the holes and it's got the hooks and you just kind of insert the branches into the holes.
That's the tree that I was talking about earlier that my mom had.
Yeah.
And my brother has, except it wasn't just like a square pole. We had like a round pole. But yeah, we had the one where you had to like put like wire branches into a circular pole.
Right.
Like, and then you kind of had to put the top of the tree. Like it was, I want to say it was either 6.5 or 7 foot tree.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a giant, it was a big production.
Yeah, and ours once we like actually, quote unquote invested in a fake tree. Yeah. And I think they got it at like Dillard's. I want to say it was like Dillard's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like they'd saved up and they finally went and it lasted forever. But it was the same thing. It was like it had the central pole and then it had like rings on certain levels and holes in the rings. And you would just insert the branches. Yeah, they were colored, exactly.
Yep.
I still have 2 of them.
Nice.
Someone was giving one away like 2 years ago, and I was like, "They're like great condition." I'm like, "Okay." So I got it.
So maybe they did last 25 years.
Yeah. It's probably my best tree. Like it's now the color tabs wore out, so I have to guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So I like how he sets it up and Willie just gets so frustrated, right? And he like takes off because there was like some Christmas caroling outside. And so the kids go off to do that. And Willie's like, I'll set this thing up. It's not going to take that long. It's okay. And finally he gets so frustrated. He's like, whatever, let's just go get a new tree because Alf is reading out like the weather reports. And he happens to mention the name of the Angeles Forest, which is a place that Willie used to get Christmas trees from. So he's like, you know what? Forget this. Let's go get a tree.
I'll warm up the car.
I'll just leave a note. Wait. You're not warming up the car. No. You get the chainsaw, fill it with gas.
No problem.
What am I saying?
Which I don't blame him, but like Christmas Eve guy, like, come on, man. Like you said it's going to take an hour there and an hour to get back. I mean, like you're already missing out on time with your family. Like,
and I mean, he's a cheap guy, so it's not like, I mean,
yeah,
there was some of this. I was just like, I don't know.
I know. I was like, Willie, you already spent $125. Like, just commit.
Yeah, just finish it up, bro.
Yeah, it's not that hard to put together. You got this. But now Willie's gonna Willie. So he and Alf head off into the car and drive 2 hours because Alf can't read a map and they get stuck.
Yep, sure.
But anyway, so Kate and the kids come home and they find find Willie's note. But this is where Mr. Achmonic, their nosy neighbor, kind of comes in. This dude is like perv city, man.
Mm-hmm.
He brings over some mistletoe and he like tries to smooch Kate like crazy.
Thanks, Kate.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
A Merry Christmas, Trevor.
That's another like movie and TV show thing. Like you would always see like the drunk person at like an office party or like your annoying neighbor or uncle or aunt or whatever.
Right.
And it's always like weird to me. I'm like, as a kid, I thought like this is how adults act. Like they just carry around mistletoe. Like I genuinely thought, oh, that's what happens at those Christmas parties. And, that's what happens when people meet up with family. And I thought that's kind of weird.
I also think though, like that was kind of like a staple of the 80s. I felt like there was always a weird, creepy guy. Because you went to Golden Girls, they had Stan, Dorothy's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little later, Yeah, empty nest. But if you even go even further, the guy on Mike and Molly that's dating the wife. I mean, I always feel like there's that character in some of these episodes. But that was the first thing I thought when I saw him. I'm like, oh man, this is like Dorothy's husband all over again.
Stan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Stan. Like, ew. It's just you let your husband go around doing that,
right?
Like,
yeah,
creepy, gross, and he's like 1,000, so it's like it's even worse. I will say this: I'm glad they didn't have him attempt that with the daughter.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I'm saying that because I feel like I can see it happening, and like I'm glad they didn't attempt to do that.
Yeah, that would have crossed the line, I think, for a kids family show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, but didn't something like that happen in Family Ties?
Yeah, it was like who was? Yeah, I maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
you know,
they didn't want to go there, so they're
good.
Yeah, but he's like also crazy alcoholic, right? He scams his way into some eggnog and.
Gosh, I love this holiday. Goodwill, visiting with the neighbors, sharing a little eggnog. Sharing a little eggnog.
Would you like some eggnog, Mr. Achmonic?
If it's not too much trouble.
I'll get you some.
Heavy on the brandy.
I know.
He's like heavy on the brandy, and the daughter Lynn is just like, I know. It's like, oh snap.
So if you look at the IMDb, there's only 6 people in this episode. This might be the lowest budgeted TV Christmas episode ever.
You're right.
Could be. Well, they spent a fortune the next year, so they're saving up their money.
Because you never see the Forest Ranger, right? You never see any of the carolers,
right?
Yep.
Where you see the family and then the drunk neighbor.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Well, drunk neighbor who asks after he downs his eggnog, then he asks for another, but this time he says, "Hold the eggnog," so just all brandy.
Yep.
So,
but he also just walked in too. Did you notice that? Like, he didn't knock.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is me, and this is another Chad thinks this is how adults actually act, and especially like later on with like Kramer. I thought people just go into other people's houses unannounced. You don't knock. I tried that once as a kid at my next door neighbor because of shows like this.
Yeah.
And the chewing out I got, not just from their father, but my mother. And my excuse was valid. I thought that, because I saw it on TV, and I'm probably 7 or something. I don't know. But
yeah, that's what people did. They just popped in. Yeah.
But it's funny when I moved out here to Texas, and Jerry could tell you, you don't walk into anyone's house down here without knocking.
No.
I believe
people
it.
have guns here.
Big gun state, and it's nope. I'll never. I learned my lesson once, and when I got the door on it, and I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? And he's just like, it's where I live in a bad neighborhood. I'm like, well, you told me to walk in.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I'm sorry that you're not like, the next door neighbors on ALF. Jeez. Why couldn't you be fun?
But like Achmonic is all like, well, where's Willie? And he's kind of pervy with Kate because she's like, well, he brought home this fake tree. And he's like, oh, and then you kicked him out, huh?
I thought he was going into the Jingle All the Way mode. Like,
Phil Hartman. He's a Phil Hartman character.
Oh my God.
Oh, Howard, excuse me, but your wife's cookies are out of this world.
Oh man, it's crazy. But no, and then he of course makes a joke about it being a coat rack and all the standard kind of things there. But
he's awfully judgmental for someone who's not spending time with his family on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And drunk off his butt too.
Yeah, who has to go get boozed up somewhere else?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe his wife.
I mean, jeez. He sure is a judgmental dude.
Yeah. Willie and Alf, they're stuck. They try to get themselves out, but of course the tires just spin and gets mud and stuff on Willie. And so then they're just like in the car, right? And I love Alf's line here.
This would never happen to Sonny Crockett.
What?
It wouldn't.
Oh.
He has a car phone. He can call for help.
He's right.
He is right.
Second NBC show reference, by the way.
What was the first one?
Mr. T.
Oh, the Mr. T, right.
Was Mr. T was on...
I think it was NBC.
It was on NBC? Yeah, that's...
The 18?
Yeah,
I think that's a Peacock one.
The cartoon was. I know that.
Yeah. Huh, man. I wish there was a Christmas episode of that cartoon. That would have been fun.
Oh, my gosh. That would have been your first episode.
Probably. But, so, and then Willie says something stupid like, I'd love to be Superman, then I could fly us out of here. You know, it is what it is. But he starts telling Alf the story about the tree when he was little. And even if they didn't have any presents, they would still have like a great big awesome tree all decorated. They would just leave it up forever. And Willie falls asleep and has himself a fever dream. It is wild because it goes from like 50s throwback to, 60, like 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds.
Literally.
Yeah, it's so strange because like literally, so Kate is dressed almost like Donna Reed, right? Mm-hmm. She has her arms up and she's walking like that, like with her arms kind of like this. I don't even know how to describe it, but in that very famous, like Leave It to Beaver, Donna Reed kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like Lynn is wearing like a Laura Ashley dress or something, and the little boy's in a suit. I mean, it's all like fancy schmancy. And Willie comes home and he brings the tree, and they're like all in. It's the fake tree, and they're like, "Oh, you have a tree." And Kate notices that it's leaning, so she calls a tree repairman. and it just so happens to be Alf. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I dream, I usually don't dream about real life problems or, in my dreams. Mine are always like fanciful dreams. Like I dream that I'm like flying the Millennium Falcon,
Yeah. I'm at a video store back in 1991.
Yeah. Stuff like that,
So the thing that threw me off was how the heck is he falling asleep? He's pretty fired up from Alf getting him upset. You're probably in a car. I can't fall asleep normally, but yet he can randomly fall asleep being stuck in the freezing cold. Such a deep sleep. He was such a deep sleep he didn't hear Alf put a tree in his car.
Yeah,
right.
Things you don't think about when you're younger, but then you're looking at this and you're just like, I envy this guy being able to sleep, but how is he falling asleep in a car?
I don't know, man.
So, like that.
Let me also just say that the daydream trope of 80s. I'm sure that shows do it now, but not like they used to. This is my least favorite sitcom trope of all time because it's usually A, not funny, B, it goes on way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a prime example of that because nothing about it is funny. And by the way, someone's going to call me out because I'm such a huge Saved by the Bell fan. I don't like when Saved by the Bell did it. So I'm sure as heck I don't like it when Alf does it. No.
Yeah. Well, so Willie calls us TV or Kate calls us this tree repairman, and it's Alf, and he comes in and he's like, "Oh, well, here's your problem. It's a fake tree. It's not even a real tree." And then all of a sudden, like Lynn, the daughter, comes in wearing like all leather, like she's bikered out, and she's like, "My boyfriends, plural, boyfriends are coming to pick me up."
Boyfriends.
It was like, "Whoa, what? Where did this come from?"
She's Pinky Tuscadero all of a sudden.
That's right.
Like, how did that happen?
I don't know, but she's like, "Yeah, they're gonna come pick me up. I don't have time to deal with this crap."
My boyfriends are coming by to get me, so I don't have to help decorate this synthetic stump.
And and then like the little boy Brian is all Rambo'd out.
What? Who? Look, I get that you have to fill time to a certain point, but again, this goes back to this went on way too long, and it just was not funny.
So was that
funny?
Was that not cut on the other one, Jerry? Because I know the other one you said. Yeah, that part was cut because I didn't remember it in the other one.
Yeah, so this is one of the episodes that in syndication, they cut out a lot of stuff and they cut it down from like 25 minutes to about 21 minutes, I think.
22, yeah.
Yeah. So this is part of what was originally cut. And so like Brian's all like, in his fatigues, all ready to go hunt in the jungle. He's going to some unnamed South American country to, I wrote this down, stem the tide of communism.
Oh my God.
Bye, Mom. I'm leaving for some unnamed Central American country.
But Brian, I thought we were going to decorate the tree.
Later, Dad, I'm off to stem the tide of communism.
But like, I mean, come on. It's just like, what? Why would he dream about that? This kid's like 6, maybe 7 or 8, and then Kate, turns out that her and Achmonic were lovers, and she's gonna go hang out with her lover, and he's wearing like the worst 70s like wild and crazy guys, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd outfit. It's bad, open button down shirt open, just
he looks like Stan from Golden Girls.
He does.
What was the first thing I think of when I see him?
The putts.
Who was the maintenance man on One Day at a Time? And he was very pervy and very skeezy. Ooh. And he would always make a joke. He was always wearing denim and like leisure suits. That's who Mr. Egmonic reminds me.
I'm just looking it up. Yes, I agree.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't either. That's one I haven't seen in a long time.
And on a random side note, I'm just looking to see if these actors or actresses were in anything else.
Nope.
Mr. Achmonic was an American Ninja. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Canon classic.
Canon
he was the sergeant, right? Or
nope.
Yeah. Okay.
He was?
I think so.
I don't know. He's a new recruit. I don't even know his name.
Yeah, Ronaldo. He was also, I think, in something with the prison. But the dad was actually, and I'm looking here, and I remember that he was in Friends. He was in 3 episodes of Friends.
Was he on Friends?
I feel like he took over for Gunther, if I'm not mistaken, for like 3 episodes.
I don't remember that.
Well,
wasn't he on the Norm Macdonald show too? Or am I thinking of Mr. Ernst from Hey Dude?
It's probably
I confused him as a kid.
I think that was Mr. Ernst from Hey Dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
This is a great show.
He was the boss. No. It was Max Wright.
Really? Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't remember. Okay, so I thought it was Mr. Ernst.
Yeah. No. I confused him as a kid.
So I
do remember.
Him.
I loved Norm Macdonald at that time. I think everybody did. And I remember watching the show, and I'm like, that's the dad from ALF. So I knew it. See?
So Willie wakes up from his dream, right? Oh. And Alf has cut down a tree and tied it to the car already. But as it starts to snow, Alf's all impressed. But a ranger who had heard the chainsaw is like, all right, get out of the car. Let me talk to you about this tree. And you're right. It's just like, it's just voiceover. So we never see him. They can save money that way. And Willie's just like covers up Alf. And he's like, all right. And it costs him $367 with the fine for cutting down the tree and to tow his car. So it made me wonder, like, how much was the towing and how much was the fine?
How much is the fine?
Yeah. I don't know, but because did they tow it just to a shop or did they just tow it to the road and then he was able to get out from there?
So you also kind of have to figure he's out at least. I would have to get like how much did he say? So the replacement tree was
125. Yep.
So he's up to with the fines, the towing. He's up to $500.
Right.
I don't know how much like a tree would have cost in 1986, but I mean the original tree, that would have had to be, let's just say $100, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think it would have gone up past 500.
Yeah,
I think people would have tapped out before then.
Yeah. So I mean, this guy's out already, and
Yeah.
I don't know though. I'm kind of like Max in real life. Or sorry, the dad. Like it's $100 and I'm thinking of it one way. I'm that guy that won't buy it when it's $40 and $10 shipping, but it's $50 and free shipping. Yeah. Then I'm in. Like I am that guy, but it's just like I see his dream when he buys that tree, when he buys the fake one.
Yeah.
That's like every time I go into your store, Jerry, I do the same thing. I'm just doing the math. I'm like, this is a pricey thing to buy, but if it lasts me 7 years,
yeah. Well, speaking of, Alf does end up, buying on Amazon, and he mail orders or through a catalog, Hardware Hamlet. He orders their Christmas presents, and so Lynn gets a staple gun, Brian gets a leaf blower, and he's all excited for it. I would have been like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I would have been all about the leaf blower.
Kate gets a rotary sander, and Willie gets weather stripping.
Sure.
So I was like, I feel like the weather stripping is the least expensive out of all of them. I don't know how much weather stripping is, but like a leaf blower seems pretty expensive. I don't know.
I mean, staple gun is probably less expensive than
that's probably true. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the staple gun. But
I've never bought any of those, so I wouldn't know. But I guess the Price is Right in me thinks that the staple gun is less than weather stripping.
$1, Bob.
The staple gun totally worth more than the leaf blower.
and that's kind of like the episode there. They do mention Easter a few times, and so we're this is close to Easter. We just passed it. At first, he's hiding the eggs.
I'm also thinking there was they had a Frosty reference at the end too. Was
they
that
did
an NBC one too?
Yes.
They probably couldn't get away with that one if it was a. I'm wondering how they got away with Huey, Dewey, and Louie because that would have been Disney at the time.
Good point.
Well, I wouldn't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
this is before Disney Afternoon too.
This was before Disney became really litigious.
Yeah.
Like they hired their lawyers after the. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, because of this episode, they're like, "Hey, we should make money off this."
There's legalities in sitcom and TV production because of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'd buy that. That checks out to me.
Why not? No, it doesn't. Don't.
I know. No. They're not watching Alf at this point.
No.
But it does make me wonder, though, if you guys could be in this episode, like one of the characters, or just anybody, like who would you be?
Well, we're not picking from a big bowl of jars ago. It would have to be, I guess, Alf. I mean, Benji, Gregory, and the kids were barely in it. I'm not being the pervy. I'm not being the pervy neighbor. So I guess it would have to be Alf.
Just by process of elimination.
Yeah.
I would probably want to be the son because being around Max would probably drive me insane, even if I were Alf. Like, I get that it was a very high stress environment on that set, but my gosh, a full confession, I don't like the character of Willie at all.
Yeah.
He's just too I find him way too much. Like he's my least favorite character on that show, and that's saying something, I think.
He's kind of whiny, right? Like he's just
very whiny.
He's just whiny, and you're like, come on, man.
He's very much like, oh, Alf, you bastard! Like he sounds like the principal from Beavis and Butthead, essentially. Alf, you chopped down our tree. And it's like, oh my gosh! Like now, I watch it. I think I have a hard time getting through these episodes because of Max.
Yeah,
and God rest his soul. I know he had a lot of issues. I do.
And then, lymphoma, I think, is what finally got him. But,
he just over pronunciated everything. Like, he put so much accents on. So he's kind of like
he was from theater, right? He had like a big
Yes.
theater background, so maybe like he's just used to really enunciating so people could figure out what he was saying.
You know who would have been the perfect choice instead of him? Would be like a William Shatner or an Adam West. Like get someone who knows how to do that. Like get someone who knows how to chew up the scenery and make it corny.
Yeah.
I'm William Shatner with a reminder. Never flirt with fire with your Christmas tree. Be sure cords aren't frayed, wiring's approved, lights don't overload circuits. Always keep a live tree and plenty of water, no candles nearby to turn a tree into a torch. Have the safety smarts for happy holidays.
I don't think any of the actors on this show were all that spectacular. I mean, people weren't really watching for the husband and wife dynamic.
Right.
They weren't watching for, the cute kids or whatever it is. They weren't watching for the wacky neighbors. They were watching for Alf. So they kind of everyone took a second, third, fourth, 20 millionth place behind Alf.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they would have brought in William Shatner, they could have did a buddy cop duo with TJ Hooker and Alf in the sidecar.
Oh my gosh, that's a show I need.
I'd watch the heck out of that.
You could still do it now, technically.
To see Alf sliding across the hood of a car.
Well, William Shatner's not going to be doing that. Yeah.
Alf's run. I just remember back in the day watching Alf run. I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
That was my least favorite part, and it would always freak me out when they would show his feet.
Yeah.
But they would also show the actor in the suit, and they would show his full body. Especially when he would run out a door. It would freak me out as a kid. It freaks me out now. I hate that intro where he's putting the camera down. They show him walking, and it's more terrifying than any horror movie I've ever seen. Oh, I hate it.
What would you guys say is your happiest memory or moment with Alf?
Do you want to go, Chad? Or do you want me to take it?
You can go first.
So I'm going to go on this one, and then you have to watch the extended version that you sent, Jerry. But big fan of Jingle Bell Rock because it played on the radio when he woke up.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know what other great Christmas movie started with Jingle Bell Rock?
It's either Die Hard or Lethal Weapon.
There you go, Lethal Weapon. But that I don't know why it's kind of like that Jingle Bell Rock, even though it's not the Brenda Lee version.
Mm-hmm.
It always gets me going. So when I hear Jingle Bell Rock, it's just kind of like one of those ones I don't turn off.
Yeah, I gotcha. What about you, Chad?
Well, I'm gonna just kind of show it off. I know it's an audio podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
But this is the Alf that I have. And on the back, my mom actually put a little label. You can kind of see it.
Oh yeah,
Chad Young. There's my name.
That's awesome.
Is that the one? Is that the one from Burger King?
Yep. And I remember going there with my dad that day where we got this.
That's cool.
To this day, when I think of Burger King, I think of onion rings because I always remember he liked onion rings. So
nice.
Alf is a good connection to my childhood and makes me laugh, despite Willie.
Right.
Alf makes me smile. So I got to tell you, Jerry. Well, I'm sorry, Jerry. I messed it up. Being on the show.
There you go. That's all right. Yeah. That's the usual.
Got to keep that going.
That's all right.
But this is a first for me because I feel like I normally crap on everything, but anything Alf is good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually right there with you guys. I remember just sitting down, for some reason, I don't know why, but we always would just put a blanket on the floor and just lay on it and watch TV. I mean, we had couches, but it was better to lay on the floor, I guess. I don't know, but I just remember my mom putting the big old, comforter or whatever it was, blanket out and just sitting there and watching Alf. And I remember I got one of the comics because Alf was in everything. They merchandised the heck out of it. And comic books was one of them. And I don't think I have it anymore, but it was an Alf comic. And I was like, whoa. And I read that thing so many times that, I ripped pages over and over. But it was just great, man. And then I saw that Alf Special Christmas and it totally bummed me out for years and years afterwards. It's just so sad. But now we come to my favorite part of the show. Oh, go ahead. Go.
Jerry, real quick.
Yeah.
Our friend Derek who has joined us for an episode or two before.
Yeah.
He and his wife went to Germany last year, and he brought me back an Alf.
Oh, that's awesome.
Comic.
Look at Achmonic.
The Agmonic.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't understand a word that is said in this.
Because it's in German?
The fact that he just found it at a flea market, and you reminded me that I wanted to kind of show that off, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's all in German?
It's all in German. I can't understand a thing that's going on.
Yeah. One of these days I want to go. My brother-in-law and his wife live in Germany, and so
wow.
I want to go, but it's a lot of money to go to Germany. So
yeah, for certain.
We'll see what happens.
The wifey's going in 3 weeks, a work trip. So you need to get your work to send you over to see more Christmas.
That's
Germany.
The trick.
See the Christmas market. They'd be
there
like,
you go.
I could be.
Yes.
I could probably trick them.
Yeah, let's expense it out.
But now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with the Spoon. Of course, this is where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of the episode. As a guest, I'll let you go first to just kind of set up the scene for us. And whichever one of you wants to go first is fine with me.
I'll go.
Okay.
So the extended version, the very first scene, and there's probably a reason why they cut it out. It goes on. They're talking about the Christmas card that they got, but before that, the wife is there, and she goes. The radio goes off. They play Jingle Bell Rock, and she gets up and she goes, "Hey, your Uncle Doug died," and he's like, "Yeah, my Uncle Doug died 3 years ago or 2 years ago," and she's like, "Then why are you still sending him Christmas cards?" So it's like that got cut out. Like if you watch the version that's now on like Peacock. It starts right after that. Like they cut that whole scene out because it was just like, this is even goofy for Alf. Like this is
right. That's good. What about you, Chad?
Alf, I wish I were Superman and I could fly away and I could fly out of this show and then they could recast me with someone who knows what they're actually doing.
William Shatner.
Oh God! If Maurice LaMarche were here, that would be great. Can you imagine? You know what? Don't even get Shatner. Just get Maurice LaMarche to be Shatner. That would be even better.
That'd be a good one. Oh man! So I went with Alf, and this is when they're stuck. And I just thought this line, I was like, okay, it's the 80s, it's terrible. But he goes, if I'm not home before Santa gets there, I'll sue you. I was like, all right. Come on, Alf.
That was on my list, but I was just like, I'll just...
Yeah.
That line got me too.
it's like... That's a bad joke, but
Alf can't even leave the house. How is he going to hire legal counsel?
Exactly, through catalogs, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
Knowing that Alf could speak Japanese.
Knowing that Alf has access to Amazon Prime in 1986 on Christmas Eve.
He got in on the ground level, right?
Oh, jeez. Well, maybe that's why we don't see him pop up. He's a trillionaire now. He invests. Yeah,
that's right.
He does.
Well, those are both better than mine. I thought if no one's half the battle, the other half is just getting a better fake tree.
That thing was bad.
It was bad. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. Guys, this has been a lot of fun talking about Alf. Tell me about your shows, your blogs, anything else you got coming up. And why don't we start with you, Chad?
I'm full disclosure, I'm kind of in a weird period where I'm not blogging anymore, but I'm trying to stay creative. Just trying to find that middle ground right now. So horrormoviebarbecue.com if you want to go read my old blog. And follow me on social media at horrormoviebarbecue across the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where you post updates to some of the stuff you get and shows that you go to. So it's still super cool. So
I'm still trying. It's just at this point I've reached the mindset of, all right, I blogged about everything I've wanted to blog about. Now I just kind of want to find what I just want to find a new adventure. So join me on social media, and you can find me stress out over that.
I understand. I covered. I just released it yesterday. It was a terrible, terrible Christmas slasher film called "Don't Open Till Christmas."
I knew you were going to say "Don't Open Till Christmas." I knew it.
It's not great, but
it's not at all. I don't recommend watching it.
Yeah, it's like 80s London.
It's
slime and grime. It's
terrible.
Bad. Yeah,
it's awful.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's no Santa's sleigh. By the way, if you've never seen that movie, it's awesome.
Santa's sleigh. Yeah,
yeah. I'll take it.
It's so awesome.
It's so yes.
What about you, Vinny?
Every time we do these, Jerry, I say I'm going to do my own podcast, which I still might, but you just turned me off telling me how it took you 6 days to do your ratties.
Well, but that's like a special. I mean, it was like a 4-hour long episode. That's rare, you know.
I get it, but every time I do it, I'm so lazy. Like I'm so lazy. But no, every time I come in, I just say always support your local businesses, especially now with all this craziness going on in the world. They need it more than ever. So if you can, let's get your local business involved and keep it local.
Right on. Yeah, for sure. Go check out Horror Movie BBQ. And if you go to Huey and Bax, you'll see some cute pictures on Instagram. So
they're old, but they're still kicking.
They're still there. Yeah. Guys, thanks a lot. I hope this episode, I think, is probably worthy of some ratties. We'll find out. But those gag me with the spoons were pretty awesome. So, you know, I'll have a word with the committee and we'll see if we can get you in. But at least a nomination.
I don't know. With Max out there, I don't know if we can pull this off. It's tough.
Well, maybe Alf can order it off Amazon Prime. Maybe we can get you a ratty.
There you go.
In time.
Off of Temu. It's
I don't think so. Not anymore.
That's right. But on that note, I'll end it with I love this holiday. Spending time with the neighbors, Goodwill, sharing a little eggnog, checking us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like Alf, seeing snow for the first time, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. In the words of the immortal Saint Frosty the Snowman, God bless us all, everyone. Later, dudes.
In the words of the immortal Saint Frosty the Snowman, God bless us all, everyone. Christmas!